Good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J. I'm here to give you a short news and a word on tonight. Now, we're going to be talking about this for a while. 2024 presidential debate. Debate was between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Now, yes, he had a bad day, but he finished strong. He finished strong. He know it, he answered the questions. He know what he was talking about. The policy and everything. So I believe he is a good president. He brought a lot of stuff to the table. You know, and so I believe the next time he will do better. Cause I will pray on it that he will do better the next time. So he put in hard labor. So yes, he don't want to step down. I feel the same way in my situation. He put in hard labor. You know, I when it's serious enough for us to tell him to pull down, then I guess we're gonna tell him to pull down. Until then, he feel like he's strong enough to keep going. And I feel to believe he will. He will keep going. You know, uh, and I'm gonna be praying for him too. That he gonna keep going, that he gonna do better the next time. So we can't count him out yet. Because he wants to finish strong. So President Bennett loves the American people. He loves the American people. He fighting for them. He fighting for these policies that they're trying to cut. Social Security, what they work all their life for, and a lot of other stuff they're trying to cut. Mr. President is fighting for a lot of stuff, for policies to be restored, for policies not to get cut. So they're trying to cut many policies as possible. He wants to finish the race. So he can be in seat for the next 4 years to continue on trying to save, and restore policies. That's what he's working on. And trying to make sure they don't get cut. Not just for the American people. He not talking about doing revenge. He not talking about threatening nobody. He talking about loving American people and finish the job that he started. Yes, he had a bad day. They say he had a little cold, but the next time he will do better. The next time he will do better. So trying to make sure they don't cut these policies. Because he be fighting for a lot of his policy. He got the insulin down to $35. He got the building by Mexico, so a lot of people to have jobs. So, and we also have Kamala Harris is on standby. That's the vice president. You know, whatever he can do or he feel like he wants to step down, Kamala be the next best thing to fill in. Until then, he don't want to pull down right now. He wants to keep on finish until he finish strong. So he will defeat. He will defeat Trump. And so that's what I have. I also want to talk about Jack Smith reveal evidence. Now Jack Smith, he been working on this case also hard, been putting in hard labor. Now he revealed evidence against former President Trump. Trump supporters carried out an attack on the behalf of the former president. Now after Trump lashed out, at FBI for conduct, so Smith team argued that Trump could endanger, the lives of law enforcement officers. Now prosecutors have now submitted a host of evidence, to argue their case that the gay audit is needed, threat against the FBI, and so multiple times he's telling her, to process this gay audit, he said, so this is like an emergency gay audit, and she have not still put in the gay audit. He's saying it endangered the enforcement. Threats against the FBI. That's an emergency gay audit is supposed to be, And so the special counsel Jack Smith, now he is seeking gay audit, against Trump in a classified document case. He has submitted dozens of pieces of evidence, in his support. So this is a serious matter. This is a serious matter. Threats, endanger the lives of law enforcement. Slow walking this case when this should have been an emergency gap. So I request you gave Jack Smith, to get put it in process. So give him this get so it can be in process. Because this is like an endanger emergency gay order that should have been in place the same day he spoke about it. Okay, that's all for the gay order. So we're gonna talk about an unknown faith. I know they're talking about that a lot, but God also worked a lot in us in our faith. I would be talking about, having an unknown faith, trusting God in the mix of your stuff. Will you have an unknown faith and believe God? Not knowing how He going to fix it, or how He will provide. I'm in the mix of that unknown faith right now. I don't know how He gonna do it. I don't know when, but I'm still walking by faith, not by sight. I'm walking by sight, not by faith. So you will keep the faith. I am walking example of faith. Don't know how God is going to do it, but I believe. I would look. So we're gonna look at Ruth's story. We're going to look at Ruth's story. You know the story that she lost her husband. Naomi lost her husband. So when she lost her husband, she had faith, not knowing how her life was going to be put back together. But she had faith. Then Naomi, said to her two daughters-in-law, I need y'all to go back to each of you. Go back to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness. So they all lost husband. So she telling them, my sons, and I'm not making no more sons. So I need y'all to go back home. We done lost everything. I'm going back to my own hometown. And so it may seem like normal rejection, rejecting her daughter-in-law, but she expressed her love. That God is punishing her. Now she think God punishing her because God, her husband and her two sons was dead. So she think that's a punishment, for her circumstance. But she won't God, even though she think God punish her, but she also want God to show kindness to Ruth and her sister. The sister Oprah had kissed her mother-in-law and she left. And she went home to her mother like Naomi told her, But Ruth replied, don't urge me to go back home because I'm not leaving. Don't urge me to come back home, to turn back from you, So where you go, I will go. And where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. So don't urge me to go back. I'm not going. My sister went back, but I'm staying. Now Ruth know her husband. Ruth know her and her mother-in-law had lost husbands. Now she know if she leave her, she will be alone. Cause she go home, she got her sister, she got her mama, but if Naomi leave, she has nobody. So Ruth will be stepping out on faith. She will be stepping out on faith because her sister left. I'm saying wherever you go, I'm saying. I got faith. I'm just. I don't know how life gonna get back together, but I have faith that I'm gonna stay with you and your God. And so she's stepping out on faith. She don't know if she will find a husband again. So she don't know if she's gonna find a husband again. Or how her life will turn around. She don't know, but she walking. She walking by faith, not by. She walking by sight, not by faith. She walking by faith, not by sight. So Ruth faced a similar decision. When her husband had died, her mother-in-law Naomi had decided to return back to Bethlehem. That's where she from. And so Ruth. So that's why Jesus is gonna be born in Bethlehem, because this is all Jesus' bloodline. So Ruth, however, chose to follow her mother-in-law to the land of Judah. Now she don't know. See, she don't know. See, when Naomi and her lost their husband, they just don't know. God had a plan already. Sometimes God move things out the way, but then He have a plan right behind it. So they crying and mourning, don't know how, but see, God gonna bless them because of their faith. So Ruth journeyed to the promised land. Where she found her new hope. She gonna find her new hope, a new husband, a place. Because so now she don't know how God was gonna fix it, but this God planned for her life, and it is good. She don't know that she gonna meet a boy ass up in the land. She don't know that she gonna have a new husband. She don't know that she gonna have a son. But see, this God plan of having her a new life because she walking by faith. She didn't ask questions. She just said, I don't know. I don't know how my life gonna turn around. I don't even know if I'm gonna have another husband. But God knows. God knows our beginning to an end. And sometimes He knocks things all out the way and puts new stuff in the way. That she about to have a new life. She didn't know God had a plan for her. And see, sometimes everything be pulling away from us. And we think it's over. We think it's over. But God said it's not over until He says over. And so when we talking about our trials and tribulations, don't read nobody else's trial. We not reading nobody else's journey. We reading our own trial. Why read somebody else's trials and tribulations? Read your own trials and tribulations, the pain and suffering that you have to go through. Like Ruth and Naomi. This their experience, not nobody else. Their experience, losses. And they don't know that their life is going to turn around. But God knows. God knows. Now, she went to Bethlehem. Now she feeling hope. Ruth not only have faith, but now she have hope that she can have a new life. Because sometimes when you lose everything, when you have dropped bottom, you don't know if your life is going to turn around again. You don't know you're going to have a new life. You don't know you're going to be happy again. But now, she feeling a little hope. Feeling a little hope that maybe I will have a new life. Now she have faith. Don't know how she will have a new life again. But she is moving out on an unknown faith. Something that she can't see. But now she have hope. Now she have hope that she will have a new life. Sometimes things can hit us so hard. We think that's it. We said, I'm not going to be happy again. I'm not going to love again. but God's giving her a new life. God is giving her new love, and God is giving her a new family. She have no son before, but she have one now. So now she believed that she will have another husband. She believed that she's going to have another family again. From death to new life. That's how we have to look at it sometimes. I know it's feel pain, serious pain, when we lose stuff. When God take everything out of our life, we think that's it. We think we're not going to love again. We think we're not going to care again. But God about to show her that she will love again. She will care again. He will give her a new life that she thought it was just over. Now, some of us experience that in losses. Someone that we know is leaving empty-handed. She is empty-handed. Her mother-in-law is empty-handed, but she willing to go with her mother-in-law to support her. Two emptiness supporting each other. And that's what a missionary is supposed to do. A lot of time, I'm going through so much, but I still call it, how you doing? I'm just checking up on you. That's what we have to do. We have to be so strong in our trials that we able to still support somebody else. She empty. Naomi empty. Both lost husband, but Naomi is really empty. She lost her husband and 2 sons. So their heart is very empty right now. Especially Naomi. She thank God. She blamed God for her emptiness. She blamed God for her losses. So we see Naomi blame God for her deaths. But Ruth has faith. She is about to have a new story. Not on a new life, but she about to have a new story. Because see, her old story fade away. It's fade away. And not God making her a new story. A new story. Now Ruth did have she about to have a new life and a new story. With her faith, God bless her, with a new husband. And then he rich. She never thought this was coming. See, we don't know how God operates. We can't see what God is about to do. Look what he did with Job. Give him double for his trouble. She about to get triple. Now, she was poor and struggling even with her husband. But now, God about to allow her to meet a Boaz that's going to be rich. Now she followed Naomi, not knowing how God would give her a new life again. Don't know. But she have hope. But she don't see. She can't see what God is about to do in her life. And sometimes we hurt so bad that we cannot see what God about to do in our life. It's not that we don't believe God, that we've been disappointed so much. Our heart is just so hurting. And both of their heart is empty-handed. And we can't see what God, but God about to do something beautiful in her life. It's going to make up for the emptiness that she feel in her heart. Now she is about to meet a Boaz who is rich and also is Naomi reality. It's kin to her. So Boaz took Ruth. She was in the land when she got there. She is a woman that want to work. So she was in that land working. She said, I'm gonna pick some food and everything for me and you. She's supporting her mother. That's the reason why she went. Her mother empty. Not only she lost sons, her husband also. See, Ruth, when she went home, she would have went home. She had her sister, she had her mother, she had somebody support her. Naomi didn't. So she wanted to go her and support her. She said, I'm going in the field. I'm going to collect some food for us. And not knowing she was going in that land to meet a Boaz. God, it's all God planned. You know, God saw how they would have struggled, how they had a husband and two sons and they were still struggling. Sometimes God moved things out the way, for her to live. See, God wants us to live a prosperous life. God don't want us to struggle. God don't like us to be crying and sad all the time. God moved things out the way for her to meet a Boaz so she won't have to struggle no more, so she can just be rich and take care of her family and not worry about how you're going to be taken care of, but be rich into a family where you don't have to struggle no more. Boaz took Ruth and she became his wife. Just because she met him on a field. He said, who is that in that field? And so, and then she had become pregnant and received a son. Now, she never had children before because the marriage didn't last that long. God took the sons away. But now she got a family. She got a son. And this bloodline is a history of bloodline of David. Jesse. She gonna have a son named Boaz. Boaz gonna have a son of Jesse. Jesse gonna have a son of David. In some kind of way down the line, Jesus is involved, a part of this bloodline. Now she have a family that God bless her because of her faith. God made this beautiful plan for her. And the beautiful plan was for Ruth to be blessed, to take care of her mother-in-law. The plan was ready for the mother-in-law because she blamed God. So she too at an age now to be working and all that to try to get another husband. But sometimes God will use somebody else to be a blessing to someone else. Now, Ruth is a blessing for Naomi. She's so rich. She could take care of her mother-in-law. That was part of God's plan. And see, we don't know what kind of plan, a beautiful plan that God has for us. We just have to walk by faith. We just have to walk by faith, not by sight. Just have to believe that God gonna turn our life around. Even though it looks so bad, worse, that He's giving us so much pain that we went through, that our heart is just so empty. But God does have a plan for our life. God sees our pain. God sees when I cry. God don't like when we cry. He don't like for us to suffer and struggle. And so our faith promised a new life. Look at Abraham. Abraham had a faith that he took his only son that he waited for a long time to take it up that hill to sacrifice, not knowing how God gonna provide. But he had a faith strong enough to know to bring his son up there. And he know that God wasn't gonna allow him to harm his son. And by he had that kind of faith, God blessed him. And everybody near Abraham was blessed because of his faith. Naomi, God had a plan for Naomi for Ruth because of her faith, that she followed along and she determined not to go home, determined to follow Ruth, determined to follow her God. God had a beautiful plan for her and He blessed her because of her faith. He blessed her so much that she able to take care of her mother-in-law. So God knew the pain that she experienced, the pain that both of them experienced. See, God know that we in pain. God know our heart. God know it's a long race. God know that I'm fighting battle after battle for so long. He knows. And God wants to see how long we going to work our faith. So God already have another plan for her, for Ruth in the army when they lost their husband. Now the sister didn't have no faith. She decided to go home. But Ruth decided to have a faith. And she followed. She followed Naomi. And God blessed her because of her faith. And so God already have a plan for Ruth in the army. Life that will be good. Our trial may seem difficult. May not look like it gonna come together. It just seem like there's no ending to a situation, no ending to the story. But God have a wonderful plan. We have to have an unknown faith, something that we can't see, but to believe God that it will come to pass. Believe that the trials and the difficulties that you're in, it feels like there's no ending, but believe that there will be an ending. We cannot see what God is about to do, but we have to have a faith that believe God, who can do the impossible. Believe God that He can do the impossible in our lives that seem impossible for us to deal with every day. It seems like there's no ending. But I believe that God will take care. I believe that He have a plan, a beautiful plan for me. A beautiful plan for me. That will work in our life. That will work in my life. So God knows my pain. He knows to work in the labor that I'm putting in. God sees what we go through. Rest in the knowledge that God uses every circumstances in our life to strengthen our faith. All the trials that the devil is placing in my presence, all kind of obstacles that the devil placing in my presence, that the devil just don't want to let go. But God using every circumstance that the devil using to turn it around for His glory. Strengthen our faith while He gained glory. Our faith in Him, the more important thing that God look at. He was very amazed with Abraham's faith. He was amazed with Ruth that she refused to turn around. He amazed with my faith that I'm still hanging on after these 4 years. Refused to give up on my life that God promised to me. He worked, strengthened our faith in all the circumstances that the devil placed on our life. God used it for our good. And when you think that your life is over with, when it look like it's over with, and you feel like it's over, you want to throw in a towel. I'm telling you, don't throw in the towel. Always hang in there. Remember that God worked on your faith. Remember the circumstances strengthen your faith. You learn, you get knowledge of the trials that the devil placing on you. And see, they wonder why I ain't give up yet. We wonder why I had never stopped. They done did this and did that. Because the trials and the circumstances that the devil keep placing on my faith, it don't do nothing but strengthen me. It strengthens me and it giving me the knowledge. It gives me the knowledge to know God more better. And to keep on hanging on. And remember that it's my life and my story. And I'm going to keep on fighting and keep pressing on until I proceed and accomplish my life and my story and all the way to the finish line. You know, so remember the one that said, I'll make it everything new. And God had told Ruth, so Ruth didn't know that God was making her life brand new. No matter what we go through, God is making everything new. Ruth life, everything new. A new baby, a new husband, and a new home. That's what he did for her. God is a may waker. You know, anything that's impossible for us. You know, the heart is empty. You know, it seems impossible that the situation don't want to go away. But I'm still hanging on, believing in God. Don't believe in the devil. Because see, the devil tell lies that make it look so good. And people believe it. I'm getting to know God first. You know, because see, the devil can play in your mind that it's the devil. You know, it's telling you to go left and telling you to go right. But I be still and listen for God first. You know, so he said he gonna make everything new. And we see he did make everything new for Ruth. You know, God had given Ruth a new life because she had an unknown faith. She didn't know how God was going to do it. She didn't know when, you know, but she had an unknown faith that showed something that she could not see. You know, she walked by faith and not by sight. You know, I'm walking example of an unknown faith of God glory. You know, long stone with a little strength, you know, but I'm still performing my commands. Being faithful, holding on to God. You know, even though the devil making it hard and difficult, don't want to let go, keeping the situation like it's not going to end, like it's no ending story. But in the mix of all that the devil trying to do, I still commit to God's command and still being a faithful service. You know, you have to still hold on to God. Hold on to God's command. Continue on doing. Because see, as you doing or being faithful and committing to his command, you're making the devil mad. Because you're still holding on. You know, you're holding on to a faith. You're holding on to an unknown faith that you can't see. But you're holding on to God, believing that he's going to give you a new life. Because he is a man that can do impossible things. You know, we see what he done to Ruth. You know, I believe God promised, you know, will come to pass. You know, I have a faith, not knowing when or how God would do it. But I'm like Ruth. I believe that God will give me a new life. I believe that God will give me a new life because I have hope. You know, I dream. The dream and my vision, it will keep me alive. Will keep my vision, will keep my hope alive. Will keep me not getting out the race. My dream, my vision was keeping my hope alive. You know, and so it's been a long time, but I've been a long time, a long journey, you know, but I believe my life will turn around. I believe that it will turn around, that God will fill my heart again. He will fill my heart again. You know, Ruth's heart was filled again with careness, love, and everything, because their heart was empty. Their heart was empty. They had no one to care for, no one to love, and God gave them that new life. Give them that new life to fill their heart with love, fill their heart to care for someone again. So that's all I have for you. Remember, God God work on our faith. Okay, we still was talking about the 24 presidential debate. They're trying to ex President Joe Biden. And I'm saying don't X him out, yeah. Don't X him out, yeah. You know, and so the next time he will do better, cause I would pray that he will do better, you know, and he is strong. His mind is made up. His mind is made up that he want to finish this race. He want to go another 4 years so he could continue on building and fixing these policies. It's the president, Bennett. It's the ones that fighting for these policies that they're trying to end. They're trying to end. They're trying to cut these policies. People need their Social Security. It's a lot of, things. He loves the American people. And he don't want to see things cut that gonna affect the American people. So he wants to finish the race and try to restore this policy, and that he wants to do. So don't count him out. So Jack Smith, wants to file, continue on filing a gay order that she don't want to place, on Trump, on former Trump, and so his supporters said carry out an attack, on the behalf of the former president. Now, after Trump lashed out at the FBI, you know, Jack Smith said he endangered the lives of law enforcement. So he telling her now this is like an emergency gate order that was presented to her, and she was supposed to place this gate order. The classified document case. He has submitted dozens of pieces of evidence. In the support. So support. I request. To gain Jack Smith request for the gate order. Place this gate order on the behalf, of former Trump. And we just talk about having an unknown faith. Having an unknown faith. Something that you don't see, that you can't see. But you believe in God. Believe in God that this is going to happen. You having a faith that you can't see. An unknown faith that you can't see. But you believe and trust God that it's going to happen. That's an unknown faith. I advise y'all to have an unknown faith because he is setting an example of me with an unknown faith. I'm walking example, walking an unknown faith. And my faith is what's going to give God glory. The circumstances that's the devil constantly keep placing don't want to let me go. But the circumstances that the devil placing, God is using every piece of a circumstance, every piece of a trial, and turn it around for his glory. Because God used our trials that the devil placed on our life and turn around for our good. So that's all. Oh, and also you can schedule Bible study. Bible study is the first thing. I read the Bible every day, fasting. And I gotta read the scriptures to put these stories together. And you learn more about God, how he uses his power, how he can do the impossible. It'd be best to schedule Bible study, to learn the Bible so you can get closer to God. I'm a spiritual healer. You can schedule a book and a reading. You're not going to predict the future. Missing divine. Do you have anybody that you need me to locate? You can leave that picture and their name on my TikTok, and I'll get back with you soon as possible. You know, leave your name and your number on my email, and my email will be down below. So y'all enjoy your night, and y'all have a blessed one. I see y'all in the next video.